Welcome back, everyone, to Beholder to No One presents Behold Clearlight. I am your Dungeon Master, Ryan Williams, and joining me here are Nikki,
Rissa Lanner,
Greg,
Gregthos steady hand.
Ashley,
Emmy Frankincense.
and Keith.
Suse.
All right, are we all ready?
hell yeah.
Yep.
Yup, let's do it.
Our heroes, we'll go with heroes, battled against an ancient hollow who wanted to destroy all remnants of this place for some reason. They dispelled a fountain of magic emanating from the light in the floor, and after a harrowing night in this sealed room, spent some time uncovering secrets of the past in this ancient structure. Apparently, this was once a font of magical energy used to power the whole city, one that appeared to be defending itself from a smear campaign. As they began to leave this place, they came upon yet another unknowable horror. Let's see how they do with this one. All right, so you saw this wretch get pulled up into the sky by this spindly, thin hand by this impossible creature that you've seen in front of you, just outside the building that you have been exploring. And after the wretch disappears up into the clouds where you can no longer see it, up into the mist, the creature continues walking, and then it stops, and I would like everyone to roll a stealth check to see if it notices you.
Oh no.
I'm so great at stealth.
Thank God I got that armor that makes me stealthy.
I mixed up my dice again, and now I don't know which one I put in the dice jail.
Oh no.
It's fine, it's just fine, it's fine.
I don't think it is, honestly.
It's not too bad.
I'm gonna ruin it for all of you.
You think? Actually, not bad.
I deliberately got the mithril scale mail just so I don't have disadvantage on stealth because I knew we were going to need that.
All right, so for organization's sake, I need everyone to scream out their numbers at the same time and make it impossible for me to... All right, Rissa, what'd you get?
I got a 9.
Oof. Gregthos,
Stealth, 11.
11, okay. And I heard Suse got an 11, and then Emmy?
I got a 14.
Okay,
Stealthiest boy of them all.
Wait, what did the weasel get?
that's a
He's
good question.
gone.
The
Yeah,
weasel
he's
ran
gone.
off. You don't know.
He ran off.
So then he rolled really well.
Yeah. He probably got eaten, actually.
Maybe
Don't
he'll be
say
super
that.
loud and be a distraction for us.
I'm rolling for the weasel right now.
You just hear.
Cool.
No.
You forget the weasel exists. No.
That's how stealthy he is.
He has +5 to stealth, so he is the stealthiest of all of us.
Well, the creature, this thing, stops and seems to... You can't see its head, so you obviously can't see if it's looking around or anything like that, but it sort of pauses for a moment, and you try to hold your breath to just try to make as little noise as possible. And Rissa, you put your hands over your mouth to just try to keep yourself from breathing too hard even, and you all try to start to slowly back away, and unfortunately, Rissa, you slip on a piece of broken rubble and kick a small
Weasel.
rock out. Yes, you kick the weasel back out, and it draws the attention of this creature. And it turns towards you. It's just legs, because you can't see any other part of it, just the legs rising up into the mist, into nothingness. And it starts to slowly move towards you. What are you guys doing?
We
We
should
need
go
to
back
run.
inside.
We need to get the hell out of here right now.
This is the really tall spindly guy?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Maybe he just wants a friend, guys.
Maybe we should get the
No.
fuck
He got
out.
one! He took one!
Yeah.
He picked one up off the ground!
And he loved it the entire time.
We're just like, move. Come on, let's go.
All right, so you all start running. Which direction are you trying to go back into the building? Are you trying to head southward back towards Clearlight? Are you running? Where are you going?
But I want to go back in the building just to see if maybe we could like cut off his visual of us.
Yeah.
Building's probably our best option.
Yeah, we'll go back in the building.
Seems like a solid plan. So you rush back into the building and try to escape from this thing. And It doesn't make any noise as it follows you. It's would have to be impossibly heavy to be able to go outside of your vision range up into the sky, but it doesn't make any sound as it comes towards you. And the only thing you can hear are the faint rustling, perhaps, of the aura of flame around it, and that's it. You rush into the building and try to sprint back into the center. Perhaps getting into a place where you can break line of sight will protect you. And you can see it as you can't see the creature anymore because you're back inside the building. You're cut off in it, but you can see that aura that surrounds it following you into the building. It seems to be stepping over the ceiling and just straddling the hallway that you're running through back into the thing. And
Don't look up! Nobody look up!
You rush into the building, go down another hallway, and all along the way, the aura of black and green flames is right behind you. You finally get to the leaden room, and the magical locks on this side are not active. So it is fortunately going to open when you get to it, and you press your hand on the panel and rush inside, and you turn around just in time to watch the door close on this creature, and the aura just stop just before the doorway, and you can just hear scratching noises on the ceiling.
Everyone get comfortable. I think we're living here now.
I mean, I think we could convince him to be our friend.
I don't think it can. I don't know.
We're just all
Good
wordless.
luck with that.
Like, what?
I'm not sure it's...
Yeah. I mean, I assume everything here is not...
I'm going to poke my finger towards that general direction, and I whisper a message to it.
Okay.
And say, "Can you not eat us, please?"
Okay.
You can respond.
Go ahead and roll a persuasion check.
Well, hold on, I have a feature for this. So I rolled a 3, but I can't roll below a 10, so I rolled a 10.
Oh yeah, you have Jack of all trades. Nice.
No, silver tongue.
Oh.
For persuasion. So my 10 becomes a dirty 20.
Ow. So you cannot roll below a 20 on a persuasion check. That is absolutely
Yes.
wild, and I love it. So
Why do you think I keep trying to talk to everything?
you hear not a single voice, but it sounds like multiple voices all trying to talk at the same time. All the same deep voice, but it sounds like multiple creatures with the same voice all talking at once. And it makes it almost impossible to catch out anything that it's saying, but you hear just like... And then it stops. And then the scratching on the ceiling stops, and you don't hear anything else.
Oh, what did it say?
That's even more unsettling than when I could hear it.
I know, right?
I don't know if he actually said anything, or if he said so many things that it made my brain implode.
You might have had it on the wrong channel.
He'd stop scratching. I message him and say thank you.
You get no response.
He's not responding now.
Suse is gonna go peek his head out and see if he can see the monster at all anywhere.
You touch the panel on the side of the door, and the door opens partially. Once again, it gets stuck for a moment, and it's gone.
Hey, see, talking works.
It's never been my experience, but first time for everything, I suppose.
You just gotta know what to say. And roll
Like,
a-
please
can't
don't
roll
eat
below
us.
a 20.
You just need to know what to say. No.
Please don't.
You just gotta be polite.
I don't want to stick around to see if it decides to change its mind. So I think we need to get out of here and fast.
We need to go north, right?
That was the way we were going before, I believe.
Don't need to go anywhere. Actually, this building was the place you were heading towards for your
Oh,
mission.
was it?
Oh,
So we've accomplished our mission. We can go back where it's safe, or we can go look for more stuff.
I mean, we're already here. It seems that we should probably at least explore the rest of this area rather than going back to Clearlight and coming back out here.
well, wasn't there a voice we heard on our way here that maybe we could check out?
We heard a mournful wail coming from the west, I believe. I don't know if
That's
that's
the direction of
one we want
SeaWorld.
I don't know if we want to check that out.
Thank you
You've
for
been
the
hearing
giggle.
mournful wails from all directions,
Yeah.
unfortunately.
So many Shamus.
Don't laugh at that.
Oh god, I just got it.
Thank you. Mournful wail, yes.
I'm in captivity!
God.
I just imagined if I cast tongues before talking to that guy, of how bad that would have sounded. Because not only would have it multiplied, but it would have also repeated it in all the languages that I know.
Oh, Jesus.
Sounds bad.
It would have been 3 times worse. Because I know 3 languages.
Before we came into this building, like, was there anything else that was of interest nearby that we might want to go check out?
Well, we're not done with this building. We still have a whole section that we haven't even looked at yet.
Gotta go north.
Well, you have explored a little bit of the building. Well, not a little bit. Probably, I would say, like half of it. And so far you haven't found anything particularly interesting besides what was in the center. It seems like this place has been picked clean for the most part by whatever is out here. Some of it intelligent, some of it not.
And I feel like that room just wraps around to this area, because remember I said that I saw or heard the ooze and saw it, a little bit of it in the north, unless there's 2 oozes in here, which I really hope not. But I think it just wraps around.
That hole that was in the middle, were the pipes that were on the walls leading to that hole?
A lot of the stuff in the walls was indeed leading to this, where this machine used to be. I told you that the machine was attached to the ceiling and the floor, like there were remnants of a little bit of the machine attached to the ceiling. Most of the pipes and stuff were attached to the ceiling.
And maybe we could follow these pipes to see where that magic was coming from.
Yeah, I was actually wondering if, like, we'd be able to go in the hole, but I don't think it's big enough for us to fit.
Yeah, it was about 2 inches wide.
Yeah.
Unless somebody wants to turn to a mouse and go down the pipes. It sounds like a bad idea.
Yeah.
I mean,
Turn into
I
a mouse.
could do that.
Oh, you could turn into animals?
Yeah.
Shit.
Kind of my thing. Plus the
I thought
shiny.
the punching thing was your thing.
I have many things.
Including animals.
So, what are we gonna do? You go outside and check out some more buildings, maybe?
I'm just afraid to move from this spot, but we do need to go explore. I mean, that's kind of
At
our
the very
job,
least,
so-
you will need to leave this place to go back home. Unless you plan on living here forever.
Like I said, we're living here now.
Well, why don't we at least check out the northern path? We don't have to go all the way through it if we decide it might be detrimental to our cause or what have you. But at least we can say that we gave it a look.
I mean, if anything, it could be just another way out. So, I mean, we have to leave eventually, and we still have that ooze to deal with.
Yeah, I mean, you're making a map over there for this place, aren't you? Maybe we could just map out this little town area, if possible.
I wonder if anybody would be interested in perhaps purchasing your cartography.
I mean, sure. I'm not great at it. I mean, look. And then I hold up, like, not great. Hold on, performance check.
Okay.
Oh, shit. No, it's amazing.
It is a very passable. You are not an artist.
25 on performance.
As far as I know, you are not an artist or a cartographer, but
Not in the
it is
slightest.
at the very least, it is very accurate to what you've seen so far.
It's a very artistic, abstract version.
Okay, maybe that's not a good idea for a map, but you do, girl.
The most abstract map.
There's like melting clocks and stuff on it.
Obviously, this
Dolly
part
all up in
here
it.
shows that to the south is a floating skeleton. Obviously, come on.
So if we go through the north door, I say that we maybe prop it open or something, because I don't want this locking behind us.
That's probably fair.
Because if there is an ooze on the other side, I don't want a repeat of us trying to run away from The ooze.
Run away! You can open it, not step through, see what's beyond the other door.
I mean, I could see pretty far, so maybe we could just look through the door. Yeah, let's just do it. Like I said, worst thing is like it's just the ooze is there. We can go back the other way. Maybe he won't be over on the other side, so at least we'll have a clear way out.
Yep.
One of you puts your hand on the panel next to the door, and it slides open somewhat laboriously, as if like the mechanics inside it are beginning to fail. But it does open, and it reveals another boring hallway. But this entire building smells like the ooze, now that you know what it is.
Yeah.
Just about all the hallways in here smell like they've been cleaned with an acidic solution of some kind, but it
Probably
is
the same ooze.
I really wish I would have got a sample of that ooze. I could make some.
I believe you did.
No, because we didn't kill it. I mean, unless I grabbed some of it off of Suse.
I thought you said you did that. My bad.
No, I got the ooze from the creature we killed in the
Oh,
room.
that gotcha.
But I was trying to think, I was like, man, I could use that to make some kind of cleaning solution. That'd be great for my laboratory.
I mean, why don't we throw something down the hallway again and make sure that there's nothing floats, just to be safe.
Yep, you toss the rock down the hall and it clatters down the hallway.
We don't have a weasel anymore, so
I do still have the bag.
I had to waste it on that.
You could do it 3 times a day. That's 3 potential weasels.
Weasels.
Come on, let the weasel out of the bag.
Weasels.
It's my lack of an accent. I can't say that word clearly.
Gotcha. Alright, so I guess I will then pop the bag back open and see
You
what
could
happens.
also just throw a rock. Like,
No, this is more fun.
I was gonna say, I don't know why, but I have a little bag of sand in my gear. So I could do like pocket sand.
Probably
Sand.
for a spell.
It could be fun.
I think that comes with like the sage background or something. One of the backgrounds.
Yeah,
I don't know what it's for.
So I'm gonna
Sure,
do
there's a
pocket
meaning
sand and see if the sand sticks in midair.
You can literally throw anything. It doesn't have to be a living creature that can feel pain. But
Yeah,
anyway,
I know. Let's sacrifice random creatures to the ooze.
It's like a familiar.
It'll be like an aquarium of animal bones.
Oh God.
What?
But yes, one of you eventually picks up a piece of the metal from the floor and skips it down the hallway, and it clatters and doesn't stop in the air or anything. It just rolls its way down to the end of the hallway.
It seems safe, but I'll go first.
Hey,
And I will just start walking down the hallway. And then once I get to where the rock landed, or this metal, whatever, I'll pick it up and just toss it further to make sure that the path is still clear.
He's Castlevania 2ing this.
You make your way through the halls of this place, throwing this small piece of metal down the halls as you go, and you make your way through the halls, and you're able to find administrative offices and the remnants of like a lobby, but you don't find any more dangerous creatures. At one point, you find a rat that has extra legs coming out of its back, but
what's so cute?
cute is certainly a word you could use. Other than that, you don't find any more creatures. You could, if you wanted to, like try to find anything salvageable from the offices, but or you can continue your way forward.
And somebody else might, but Suse isn't interested in any of that.
Let's go.
I mean, I'll take a look around.
Okay, go ahead and make an investigation check if you'd like.
So I want to look around too, see if I can find any more artifacts.
You said investigation?
Yep.
Oh, I am not good at those.
Mine's a 14.
Oh, 16.
Two of you spend a few minutes looking around this room, and you're able to pull open filing cabinets and search through. Most of the papers in here are illegible and ruined, but you do find it looks like a chalkboard of some kind with looks like they were like a meeting was being held about you see a lot of strange words that you may or may not have heard depending on what kind of person you are in the Society of Clearlight, but you see the words defamation lawsuit and
I'm totally familiar with that one.
and it seems like these people were trying to either cover something up or stop people from spreading lies about them. It is impossible to tell. Somebody is saying bad things about this place, and people here are trying to stop that from happening. Whether they're true or not, you can't tell.
Fascinating.
These ancient people had pretty similar problems to what we have right now.
Sure does. And actually, now that I think about it, if you look at the side of this filing cabinet here, you can clearly see that it says Clearlight Gazette. So I think this was some kind of journalism class or school or something.
Well, the ancients would have called this place Vascal. That's what the ancients called this city.
So okay, I'll rep that one out. It's actually the Vascal Gazette then.
It's in Gregthos' handwriting.
Holy crap, look what I found!
That's amazing. I thought they called this place Vascal. That's weird.
I can't be wrong. This is like repping it out.
All right. Well, if there's nothing like super interesting in here, we probably keep going.
I agree.
Okay. Eventually, you emerge out of the northern end of the building, and you can see just like once again the mist just stretching out in all directions. It's difficult to see long distances out here, but you can continue your way northward if you like. You have the full range of this ancient city all around you. The buildings in this area of the city some of them are a little bit better held together. There are actual like multi-story buildings in this area. Some of them have actually, like, the walls are not crumbling so much. There are like structures that are still standing. Looks like this was perhaps once houses or perhaps storefronts. But once again, everything is dead. The buildings are sort of looming menacingly over it, but it's partially because some of them are leaning forward, about to fall over.
Do any of them look like important like that one did? Like, do they have like a sign in front of it, or is there like a significantly larger building that looks like it might have been like an official?
Many of the buildings do look like there's a lot of places that have signs. Some of them are illegible, but you see things like bits and bobs. You find ancient, what looks like it was once a restaurant, and that one of the shadow beast creatures seems to be like munching on something that perhaps was once food. But as soon as it sees you, it skitters away. At one point, you find a building that looks like it was perhaps a government building. It's difficult to tell. You do know that Vascal was Clearlight. Like, Clearlight is just the current name for the ancient city. All of this is just extra that was outside the walls of Vascal.
So you see, I wasn't wrong about the name. I was just updating it.
So a lot of the most important buildings are still inside the walls and are still being used today, although perhaps not from the original purposes. Like, the main government building that Clearlight currently uses was once an ancient temple to the gods and goddesses that they worshipped.
Okay. I was mostly just like seeing if maybe there was like a library or like some kind of like building that might look like it would have any kind of records or information. I mean, that's what I'm always scouting out for, is pretty much anything that might be important.
Okay, go ahead and make a perception check for me.
Okay. It's going to be ooh, that's a lot. 23.
Ooh, 23. Okay.
I'm very perceptive.
At one point, you come to a large square building that has multiple stories, and it seems to be, well, from the outside, mostly intact. And there are like multi-story walls, which is somewhat rare around here, because a lot of the places seem to have just collapsed out of disrepair, or giant creatures coming and stepping on them. Actually, at one point, speaking of that, you do come across massive footprints.
Oh.
At least that's what you think they are. They are a series of holes in the ground, but they're perfectly circular and spaced in such a way that you wonder what could possibly have, like, the leg configuration for this would be very strange. You think perhaps a giant spider, maybe?
Oh god.
with the way that these legs are laid out, especially since you probably would have studied anatomy, you would probably be able to figure out that this is something with more legs than you expected. But each of the footprints is like 4 feet wide.
Oof.
It seems to have walked straight through some buildings. And in fact, if you like look along the path of this trail that it's left behind, every once in a while it seems like everything beneath it is just gone. Like there's like spaces where there's just nothing but the ground underneath where it was walking.
Probably what we heard last night.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
But you do make your way looking through some of that large building, and you open up a door and go inside. And it looks like parts of the upper floors have fallen down into the lower floors, but there are portions of it that are still standing. And in here, there actually are entire rooms that are like totally intact, similar to the other room that you just were hiding out in for a while. And after looking around for a while, you think this was perhaps once a magical school,
Ooh.
like a magical academy.
I am definitely interested in this.
While we're glancing around, I'm going to start tracing the tattoo on my left hand and casting Detect Magic as a ritual.
Okay.
Did we go inside, or do you...
We're about to.
Oh, okay. I was just making sure everyone wanted to go in here, because I know I'm interested, but I don't want to be the voice of everybody.
You lead the way.
While we're outside, I would also like to take a small vial or a jar that I have and try to just capture a little bit of the mist in it.
Okay, you can definitely do that. It's a little bit. It seems to be heavier than air in some places, so you can like scoop it up like, what do they call it? The liquid nitrogen.
Oh, dry
You often
ice.
see, yeah, dry ice. That's what I mean. That's a better word. You can scoop a little bit into a jar, yeah, for sure. And it's like strange purple substance that nobody's really attempted to like. Not that no one's attempted to it, but so far everyone has been able to. The only thing anyone's been able to figure out is that it is water, like mist, but it has some sort of like strange magical energy infused in it, with a bit of perhaps you might have to roll. That would be probably Arcana or History to see if you know what the local scientists have deduced about the mist.
Okay. Do I get to choose either or
Yeah, go ahead and roll either History or Arcana.
Okay. They're actually both the same, so there you go.
Could
Okay,
I try helping him out? Because I might know something.
go ahead.
I was
You
just going to
can
give
roll
him
with
the help
advantage.
action and have him
Yeah.
roll at advantage. Kind of study it with him.
Gregthos holds up the jar full of the mist and sort of ponders what he knows about it. And Emmy comes by and looks also into the jar.
I know nothing.
Okay.
Even at advantage?
I rolled 2 3s.
Oh, jeez.
Oh,
So we're
no.
both just like
So
hovering
it's
over the
6
jar,
total.
like, don't know.
So I just rolled just in case I could notice anything. I got a 21.
Damn.
Okay. You probably did a little bit of research before you left the city just to know as much as possible about the outside world. They know that there is some sort of necromancy energy infused in the mist, and they're not really sure of the source.
I will message this quietly just to Gregthos, since Emmy doesn't like necromantic stuff.
My eyes just go wide because I'm not sure where the voice is coming from. And then I'll start frantically.
Would have done this to you before.
Oh.
So you are attempting to cast your spell as a ritual, so.
Oh, right, never mind.
Yeah, so you're a little
I'll
busy.
do that, and then I'll be like, fine, I'll just say it out loud. The only thing that they really know about it is that it's necromantic, which is kind of obvious.
Yeah. Seems like everything is here.
What obvious?
No. Definitely far from that.
Some people have referred to the outside world as the land of the dead.
It does seem to have a common theme going about it.
I'm going to take a sample of the mist too, because again, I just want to be able to take back with me whatever I possibly can. My inventory has the weirdest stuff in it right now.
Perfect. So you spend a little time looking around this room, and there are portions of it that are magically enchanted, so they are holding up much better. Magical enchantments hold for a very, very long time. unless disturbed or dispelled in some way or overridden by other magic. So there are certain portions of this building that are just totally fine. At one point, you find a wizard's spell book, like a somebody who was just getting their start in wizardry, had lost their spell book at some point, and it's sort of just like laying on the floor.
I'm gonna pick that up.
You don't study wizardry in the same way that they do. Like, you cast
Nope.
magical spells, but the way that they do it is very different from yours.
But I can sell it.
You certainly could. So you can't really like read like what spells are in it, because it's a lot of like arcane runes and stuff like that. But it's definitely valuable, especially since it's ancient. You have to be very careful not to destroy it, actually, because the magical enchantment is holding it together, but it is still paper.
Ancient wizard spellbook. Spells unknown.
We'll need to find a new way to write things, because I'm not going to get any information from all these soggy books.
So you spend some time looking around this building, and there are portions of it that are like the study of magic, and then there's other portions of it that are just like general schooling, and that you think might be useful to finding some things about the history of the place. So you spend some time like looking around. Like I said, a lot of the books are unreadable, but there are certain things that are like magically intended. In fact, you find what appears to be like a screen with like glowing words on it in the language of the ancients, which is the same as the current common language, but it's like morphed and changed so much over the years that it's difficult to read unless you've specifically studied it.
It's like Shakespeare.
Even older than that.
Oh.
So, I'm
It's
going
like,
to.
have you ever read the original Beowulf?
No.
No,
I've read
that's
parts of it.
it's like not even the same language.
Yeah, I tried reading it and I was like, nope.
I'm going to collect as many books as possible because I do have comprehend languages, and I can do that from the safety of the inside of the city.
All right, great. Suse, what are you doing? Because you said you're not very interested in books.
Yeah, he's probably just going to be, while they're checking out books and stuff, he'll be wandering around, just making sure the building's secure, pretty much.
Okay. So you're all sort of just like looking around at different like things that are very interesting. It's also very dark in here. There's like, because the ceiling is mostly intact, and it's you have to rely on your lanterns and dancing light and stuff like that to be able to go in here. And that unfortunately casts a lot of unsettling shadows.
Yeah, I could have just had regular light, but that was boring.
Right.
Do we remember, like, I mean, you might have said this, but do we remember anything that Malira said that we would look out in particular? Like, is there something we're supposed to be, like, watching out for, or she didn't care?
She wanted to know what that strange bubbling was in the mist, and you discovered the place that was coming from. And it was
okay.
that strange thing in the center of that, what appeared to be like a power plant almost.
Okay. I just wanted to make sure that we pretty much came to do what we were supposed to do, and
Yes.
Most
She
of
wanted
this is
you to
just
figure
extra.
out what that was and come back and report like what is causing that strange disturbance in the mists. If I might have
Okay.
useful information or something. So she sent you out to do that because she figured it's inside the ancient city, and so it's relatively close. You only had to walk a few hours to get here.
Mhm.
She thinks that in the future you will do journeys that last days, but for now she just wanted as the first mission to just be something relatively close.
Yeah, recon.
Okay, so we're just doing this mostly out of our own curiosity.
And that's totally fine.
It's just verifying that we were in a separate part of the old town rather than it being like one long corridor type thing.
Oh no, this is a totally different building. It's a rather large building, and it seems to be like a complex of buildings, in fact. I'm gonna hold on one second. Roll a couple of dice to make some decisions here. You know, don't
Love
you
when the
hate
DM
when
says
you like
that.
roll a die and then realize like I didn't decide what any of the numbers mean?
Yep.
So you cast detect magic, right?
Yes.
Oh yes, you are currently doing that. And cool. While you are doing that, you hear like the sound of like a puff of wind behind you,
Sorry.
and it is you feel a rope come down over your head and wrap around your neck. something has grabbed you from behind, Rissa, and
Well, that's weird.
you are just completely shocked, unable to react to this thing that's happened. Something has grabbed you from behind and wrapped a rope around your neck, and then suddenly you're just in darkness, and you feel like you're falling through the air, and then you're back on the ground again, somewhere completely different from where you were before. And this thing is still wrapping around your neck. I would like the rest of the group, besides Rissa, to roll a perception check for me to see if they saw that happen.
Oh
The fuck?
boy.
So good at this.
23.
Okay.
8.
8.
I've
Right.
never played a perceptive character before. This is amazing.
Isn't it amazing? It's the best thing ever.
And I'm sorry, what did Gregthos get?
Oh, I'm sorry. 14.
14. Okay. So Gregthos and Emmy, you're all sort of like investigating this same room that used to be like a classroom, it looks like, along with Rissa, who was in the middle of casting her spell, and then suddenly a lanky, vaguely humanoid-looking creature appears behind Rissa, wraps a rope around her neck, and then disappears with her. And she's just gone.
And I'm gonna start running towards where she was pulled.
Mhm. So you rush over to the place where Rissa was standing before. Meanwhile, Rissa, you are struggling with this thing, trying to pull it off of you. I'm going to have you roll an athletics or acrobatics check, your choice, to break out of the grapple.
Oh, but I'm not good at either of those.
Oh, I'm sorry, with disadvantage.
Oh, great. 'cause
Even better.
I wasn't good at it already. 13.
Ooh, that is exactly what you needed.
Oh.
This thing has wrapped its rope around your neck and is trying to strangle, but you manage to get one of your hands underneath the rope and sort of pull it slightly away from your neck. So you're still held by this creature, but it's not, at least not choking you. And you manage to push your arm up over your head and get out of the thing. And now you have a chance to turn around and look at this creature. It is a man, but perhaps something else now. It was maybe once a man, but it is covered in fur and it has wild hair on top of its head pointing out in all directions. And it looks surprised that you were able to escape from it, and it pulls the rope taut again and tries to come at you once more. Meanwhile, the rest of the group is just in the classroom. Suse, you didn't notice that she had gone because you were moved a little bit away outside the room, looking around, making sure that the place was structurally sound so it wasn't collapsing on anyone. But you hear Emmy and Gregthos suddenly like have a commotion in the other room.
Yeah, he's just gonna run straight in.
The three of you are just in this room, and Rissa's just gone. You have no idea where she is. What are you doing?
Suse is just gonna say, "What happened?"
Something just grabbed Rissa, and now she's gone.
And with your insanely high perception check, Emmy, I'm going to say that you heard a noise. Thank goodness. You heard a sound come from a room above you. Like, perhaps something happened in the floor above you. And then you hear the sounds of a struggle directly above you.
Oh, okay. I think she's above us.
Suse is gonna look up and see if there's like any sort of holes or any easy way to get through the ceiling.
Unfortunately, not in this room. This one is pretty structurally sound. But you can hear footsteps and sounds like people struggling upstairs.
And then Suse is just gonna immediately start running out. He's like, "We need to find a way upstairs," and he's gonna start looking for a staircase somewhere.
Rissa,
Yeah.
you are looking at this strange creature coming at you with a rope in its hand, trying to strangle you again. What are you going to do?
I'm going to cast invisibility on myself and then step 30 feet to the right.
Okay. So you turn invisible, and the creature looks very confused and says, like, "Gone. I'll find you." It thinks that you've teleported away like you did. But this is the first time you've heard a creature sort of coherently speak and react appropriately to things happening around it.
So can I cast message to it?
Does invisibility, is that broken by casting another spell? But because I know making attacks,
A spell ends for a target that attacks or casts a spell. I thought it was if it attacks. Never mind.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's greater invisibility.
Yeah.
I won't do that.
You go invisible and then pop up in front of it with your finger pointed at, and you're like, oh.
Shit.
No.
I forgot.
Rissa would know that her spell would be canceled if she tried to do that to it. But the creature starts like stalking around the room, and at one point it sort of like walks into a particularly shadowy part of the room and then disappears, and then reappears in a different part of the room that has more shadows in it.
Can I roll a history to see if I recognize the creature at all?
Sure.
I don't think I will, but I rolled a 10. History is 12.
All right. Unfortunately, the creature doesn't look familiar to you. It looks sort of like it was a person at one point, but it looks like it's had hard living out here. It's just wearing a loincloth and a belt and carrying that frayed-looking rope around. It does have attached to that belt a small sword that looks rusted and old. But this is perhaps the most aware creature you've encountered out here so far. And it is trying to murder you. So we're going to cut back to the rest of the group who's running around the building trying to find a staircase. You were able to run down a hallway. Go ahead and make a survival check. That's navigation, right? We're going to call
Yes. Just everybody?
that. Yeah.
Oh, she just got a natural one.
Me too.
Oh, no.
Wow, guys. You said survival. I got a 15.
15, okay. Suse and Emmy start like running down the hallway, and then Gregthos, you burst out of the room and look both ways down the hallway, and you see a sign on the wall that they didn't notice that has like a picture of a person, like a cartoon person running up some stairs, pointing the opposite direction from where they were going.
I think it's this way.
Yeah, that makes sense.
It's like that meme. It's like the guy, like, is this stairs?
Yeah. So yeah, we'll head that direction.
So
Post
you
haste.
sprint up the stairs and around the corner and come out into another hallway that looks like it has more classrooms in it. And you can pretty well guess that the room that you need to get to based on where you were in the below floor. So you rush your way down through the hallway, and you see finally, well, you come into the room that you think you should have seen them, but you just see nothing. You don't see anything in this room. You're like, this is the room, this has got to be directly above where we just were. Rissa, you see the rest of the group walk into the room, like looking around, like, and they don't see you because you're invisible.
That's crazy talk.
Rissa!
Oh wait, was that you? That's crazy talking? Not you saying that out loud in character? Sorry.
No.
I scared myself then somehow. I don't know how.
Do I see the guy still?
The creature has teleported out of this room somewhere. It's gone.
Okay, I will stage whisper, guys, I'm over here.
You look around. It's here.
I'm invisible.
Yeah, well, where's here?
Follow my voice. Or I'll just walk towards them.
I'm not good at that.
I'll poke Suse in the back of the head.
He swings a sword at you. No, I'm kidding.
No.
Decapitation.
I'm gonna get in a very defensive stance. It's like, what happened? We're like, where's whatever took you?
Weird creature. Just long, tall, spindly, creepy. Put something around my neck. Teleports in the shadows, so careful of shadows. And he is intelligent-ish. He actually was like, I'm gonna find you. I think he thought I teleported when I turned invisible.
Okay, well, hopefully he was tricked enough to have left.
No, he's still looking for me.
If you say he disappeared into the shadows?
Yeah, he went into the shadows and then vanished.
Well, we get rid of the shadows.
That's exactly. I will use one of my wild shapes to gain the constellation again, because I have I think it's 30 feet of light that comes off of me while I'm in that form.
Okay.
Let me double check that, but I'm fairly certain that is the case. Sheds bright light in a 10-foot radius and dim light for an additional 10 feet.
Okay. So Gregthos ignites his own body, and starlight starts shining out from the star map on his chest and back, and it doesn't completely banish all the shadows in this room. In fact, it just creates different shadows, but you feel at least a little safer knowing that there are no shadows immediately around you.
I can hold this for a little while. At the very least, while we're still exploring this, whatever this is.
Well, I can stay invisible for a bit longer. Invisibility lasts
Hour, I think. Maybe 10 minutes. It's one of those.
one of those two very drastic. It's up to an hour.
Cool.
The only problem with you being invisible is if he takes you again, we won't know.
Well, I have to maintain concentration, so if he finds me, you'll be able to tell if there's a rope hanging randomly in the middle of nothing.
Also,
I
Emmy,
guess
you
so.
did see the creature grab her at the very least. So
Oh, so I saw did I see what it looked like?
yeah, it looked like
It looked like me.
sort of. Worse though. It looked like him, but worse.
And
Slender
that's
Man.
saying something.
More naked. The skin color was
Oh,
different.
okay, so it's a challenge. Let's fucking do
I mean, unless we, as much as it pains me to say this, unless we have a good reason to be here, I think maybe we should head back.
Well, I wanted to find magic items since this used to be an academy.
Well, if you want to get behind me, I could try to make sure that nothing tries to take you again, and I'll be on complete watch while you try to cast the spell.
Well, I am invisible. I won't lose concentration until I cast the spell. But yeah.
If we're gonna be sticking around here, we just need to make sure that we do this very carefully. We don't need to be splitting the party, guys. Intentionally or not.
Yeah, we need to keep our eyes on everybody at once. So
Well, we didn't split it on purpose.
Intentionally or not is what I said.
No, I didn't hear that part.
Yeah, I think we should just, maybe just stay on watch, let her cast her spell, and then find what we need to find, and then we should probably head back to Clearlight.
probably a good idea.
All right. Okay. So Rissa, you take your time again and concentrate and try to cast the detect magic spell one more time. Meanwhile, everybody else keeps an eye out on each other and just the shadows in all directions. The rest of the time, it is eerily quiet in here. But other than that, you are able to cast your spell. And at one point, actually, just right towards the end of it, you sort of hear a shout in the distance. It sounds like the same voice from that creature, and it just says, I'll get you eventually.
Oh, that's the guy.
He sounds stupid.
But you are able to finish your spell, and so you said you were looking for magical items, correct?
Yes.
Well, that is going to be relatively easy with your detect magic spell. I would like you to roll either perception or investigation. Either one, pick your choice. Either one with advantage because you cast that spell.
Well, it's either a natural 1 or a 19.
So which one of those are you going to pick?
I'm gonna go with the 19.
It's golf rules, right?
I want to fail.
You spend some time looking around, and you realize there is this certain storage facility. It seems like perhaps this was a place that taught people how to do enchantments on magical items. So you find a place that has a bunch of very simple enchantments on small magical items. You find a wand that casts prestidigitation.
Yes, I need that.
Oh.
But then you find a couple of odd random little things. This is for people who are learning. So you find a small orb that when you touch it, it just oh, this has a magical aura. So you touch it and try to pick it up. And as soon as you touch it, it just floats 5 feet up in the air. You find also a bunch of things that are just meant to glow in different colored lights. And you think, maybe you could take these. You could use them to mark your path or something like that. You find Dark Souls prism stones, basically.
I was going to say, yeah.
But the most interesting thing you find is a magical, looks like a magic wand, but interestingly enough, it does not have a spell enchanted into it. But it is obviously giving off a magical aura. So if you spend off some time with it, you might be able to figure out what exactly this does. But it's very clearly a magical wand. But it doesn't, you try to use it and it doesn't immediately cast any kind of spell.
Interesting.
That stick?
No, it seems to be magical, but it's not any sort of magic that I'm accustomed to.
You might have to do the whole attunement thing to figure out exactly what it does. I think the rules is if you spend 10 minutes with a magical item, you find out what it does. Something like that.
There's an identify spell, but I don't think I have it.
Yeah, there's also identify, if you want to do it immediately.
Yeah, I don't have that either.
But yeah, most of the stuff you find is random little baubles for beginners trying to learn how to enchant things. You do find a large dome-shaped room that has magical auras all around it, but it doesn't. There's not a lot of magical items. It's just like ancient scorch marks from magic spells being cast all around this room, and it looks like a dueling arena.
Interesting. This seems to have been a dueling arena of some sort.
I mean, I guess part of magic study is learning self-defense, so...
Makes sense, I guess.
So as you continue to make your way through this building, searching room by room very carefully and quietly, or at least as quietly as you can, and at one point you are passing through like a hallway on the second floor, and I would like everyone to make a dexterity saving throw for me.
No joy.
Boy.
Do I have any bonuses
Wow.
to that being a monk? I don't think so.
Not as a level 1 monk, I don't think.
Damn it! I need to be better!
Yeah, I think you get slow fall until 3.
Yeah, not for a bit. I believe for me that is a 12.
Suse got a 3.
Oh dear.
I got a big old 7.
It's a
I
big...
rolled the highest at a 10.
Well, wait.
I said
Or,
12.
No, you said 12. I still rolled better than 2 people with a 10.
All right. So you guys are making your way through this upper floor, and you hear like a crack sound, and everybody just like freezes for a moment, like, what was that? And then the entire hallway crumbles all around you, and the building begins to fall. Everyone who rolled below an 11, which is 3 of you, is going to take 9 bludgeoning damage as the building sort of collapses around you, and you all sort of scramble to like keep your footing, and bits of rubble start crumbling all around you, and you tumble through the building. Gregthos, you are the one standing in the back, and so when you see the part of the building in front of you start to collapse, you sort of back up a few steps and are able to back up to a portion that isn't falling. But you see the rest of your party members all begin to fall into the first floor. And unfortunately, it made a lot of noise.
Of course.
Oh
I
boy.
thank God my ass broke my fall.
What ass?
The one that's over there somewhere. I lost it falling.
Oh, no.
Is everyone okay?
Ow.
Yes,
Yeah.
it definitely, probably some cuts and bruises, but no major injuries.
Are we done here?
Well, I'm pretty sure we're about to
Yeah.
have company.
Well, let's get out of here before we do.
Yeah, I think we should get the hell out of here.
Is there a relatively safe way for me to get down from here rather than going all the way back to the stairwell?
No, I'm kidding.
You could jump. It seemed to have fallen in like a sort of, like directly in front of you is now sort of a ramp going down to the first floor.
Alright, so I'll slowly kind of make my way down to the first floor.
Do the
That
old
way.
man, like tap, tap, tap with your staff,
Exactly,
and then take
yeah,
a step on it,
100%.
1 foot at a time. But you do make your way back down to the first floor.
Usually I have a weasel for this, but
You summon a weasel one time.
Not your thing.
Or just summon 1 weasel anyway. You make your way back out through this sprawling complex of Magical Academy. You figure there are probably more things to be found in here, but for now, this seems like a pretty decent find.
Yeah, we should head back, and if we come by this way again, we could check out more, but right now I think we made a lot of noise, and I don't want that thing coming for us, especially whatever left those footprints.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't want to meet that again. It sounded pretty big.
how does everybody look after the fall?
I mean, I'm still okay.
It hurt, but I'll live.
Yeah, I'm good.
So you begin your way, make your way back southward then, right?
Yeah, I think we're gonna head back to Clearlight.
I'm going to cast Healing Word on.
Who's your favorite? We're finding out
what
right
I'm trying
now.
to figure out.
The weasel.
Love you.
Well, I'll cast it on Emmy, and I'm also going to be. I realized that I never said which constellation thing I was picking, so I chose Chalice, and that says when I cast a healing spell, a creature. I don't know why I'm doing this in my character voice. When I cast a healing spell, either myself or a creature within 30 feet of me can also heal.
Cool.
Hold on 1 second.
You got a beacon of light.
Kinda, sorta, yeah. Alright, so the healing word is going to Emmy.
It heals you too.
It's gonna heal you and Rissa. Thank you, Jesus. Thankfully, we have the names up here because clearly I can't read. So 4 to Emmy, and you don't get the 4 as well, Nikki. You actually get a different roll. I just want to make sure that I'm doing this correctly. Chalice. When you cast a spell that restores hit points, you or a creature within 30 feet regains 1d8 plus 2. So it's actually a stronger. That's a d10. So you heal 9.
Nice.
So I'm technically not your favorite. Because she got the stronger healing spell.
I mean, sure. Let's go with that.
So you make your way back out of this building and head back in a southerly direction back towards Clearlight. And actually, just heading in that direction, you can faintly see the bright lights of Clearlight through the mist because you're still relatively close to it. The giant towers reaching high up into the sky with lights shining out in all directions to keep even the flying creatures away as best they can. So at least you always have something to anchor yourself. It's very unlikely that you're going to get lost out here because you can, at least as close as you are, you can still see the city that you live in the distance. You start making your way back southward towards home. And at one point you are passing by the power plant again, the siphon place. And you hear once again those massive footsteps that you heard earlier. Those and you can look off in the distance and you can see vaguely through the mist a gigantic creature. Looks like it has to be 60 feet high, 6 legs spreading out in all directions, walking slowly, but that's only because of its massive size. It looks like it's moving slowly, but it crashes its way through buildings, seeming to ignore anything that might get in its way. On its body, you can only vaguely see because the mist sort of conceals it, but it looks like ovular body from which all 6 of these legs emerge, and you can see tentacles writhing through the mist. You can't really see its face if it has one, but you can see hanging beneath it are just tendrils writhing in all directions. And at one point, it stops moving, and there is exactly one wretch just like standing still looking up at this strange thing that has walked over it, and its underside from like beneath all the legs glows red, and the red light shines down directly beneath it, and you watch in horror and fascination as the bright red light disintegrates everything beneath it. And you just hear boom.
That's creepy.
The wretch, along with chunks of building and bits of the street, are disintegrated, and sort of the dust that is left over is absorbed up into this creature. And then it just continues walking with on its 6 legs away from you.
Oh my god.
Yeah, let's not get caught under that.
Yeah, I would say that.
Also, let's get the hell out of here.
Yeah, I think that's a sign that we need to get out.
All right, so you continue making your way back towards the city. You're passing by the ruins of the ancient buildings, and you can only wonder what this place must have looked like back when it was new and a thriving city. But you pass by one building in particular. It's sort of like one of those ones that I mentioned earlier that was like leaning over you a little bit because it's just barely holding itself up. And you are making your way through the city, and at one point you hear noises coming from inside one of the buildings. And then you hear from the second floor a loud crashing noise. And that what sounds like a muffled groan, like it sounds like somebody with their mouth covered is trying to shout. And then the entire wall of the second floor of this building crashes open, and a massive shape falls its way out directly in front of you and tumbles over. And it's difficult to make out what this is at first because it's just a strange amorphous shape. But then as you take a second to look at it in horror, you realize it is a pile of bodies, an amalgam of arms and legs and limbs, all reaching out and thrashing in different directions. And the voice, you can hear multiple muffled voices coming from inside this giant fleshy mass, and it stands up on its many hands and legs and stumbles a couple of steps, and then turns. There isn't a front really, but it turns a portion of it towards you and begins to half stumble, half roll in your direction. I would like everyone to roll initiative.
Oh god.
We're being attacked by the meatball from freaking inside.
Yeah, it actually is a lot like that.
These dice are not treating me right today.
While you do that, I am going to pull out the map for you.
Oh, good. Choose the form of your instructor.
All right, so this creature has just burst out of this building, and you guys are all hanging around here.
So, that's an interesting looking token.
I'm just placing you in places that I feel like would make sense. I don't know. Because
Yeah.
we know Suse likes to take the lead on things, and Gregthos is often hanging out in the back. So this thing has just burst through this building right here and has tumbled out onto the floor and is heading in your direction. Now I will take what you guys rolled for initiative. All right, 25 to 20. Cool.
20.
Oh, you got a 20?
Yep.
Okay. 20 to 15? Nobody? Okay. 15 to 10.
Suse got a 12.
Okay.
11 for Gregthos.
And then Emmy?
Got an 8.
8.
Opposite ends of the spectrum.
I think it's exactly the initiative I rolled last time too.
Not according to my things. I still have I'm putting them all on the same page to save paper. So we got a 10, but that's the closest you've been to this before.
So I rolled an 8, but then I got a 10. This time I rolled a I can't count, a 5. No, 6. I am good at math.
Numbers. Anyway, you see this. Rissa, you're the first to react to this creature rolling and stumbling its way towards you. What are you gonna do?
We're friends, not food.
It's just a bunch of muffled voices coming from within.
We're not the people you're looking for? They went that way. And I point away from me, towards the north.
Okay. Go ahead and make a deception check.
Which
Does
head
it
are you
even
talking
understand you?
You don't see many heads. It's mostly just limbs, like legs, arms.
Because I can't roll below a 10, and that 5 is below a 10, I got 17.
Okay, wow, cool. 17 is the lowest you can roll for a deception.
Yeah.
You shout at this creature the thing that you just said. It does not seem to stop as it tumbles its way towards you.
Oh, well, I tried. Was that
Wait.
my action?
We'll call that a bonus action.
Alright, I will cast Shatter on it
Okay.
at 3rd level.
It's a pretty good go-to.
Either way, no matter whether this thing succeeds or fails, it just ripples go through this creature, and it looks terrible.
Limbs fly everywhere.
Gross.
That is going to be a 19.
That'll
Damn.
pass. But that's not 16 damage, half to 8.
Okay, so 8 damage to this creature that I am calling the Mournful Mound.
Fitting.
That just sounds gross.
Yes.
And it is gross. It looks gross, and it smells gross too.
As clean cut as Emmy is, he's like, we could always run, too.
All right, are you moving anywhere?
5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. I'm gonna move like 30 feet just backwards away from it with my back up against this wall over here.
All right.
You guys got this, it's fine.
Right, that is going to bring us to Suse. This thing is stumbling its way towards you.
Suse is just gonna pull out a sword and not so stumble his way towards it, and then just begin hacking off limbs.
All right.
He's gonna use Fighting Spirit, self-advantage. Hit point. Hit is 17.
17 to hit. That will hit.
Cool. For 15 damage.
All
Okay.
right. 15 damage.
Second attack is a 24
That will definitely hit.
for 10 damage. And
Alright.
then he's gonna action surge.
Ooh.
2 more attacks. For 16?
16, does that hit? It does. 16 does hit.
Okay, cool. For 7 damage.
7 more damage.
And then that is a hit. 24. For 10 more damage.
Plus 10 more damage.
Good turn.
Just a casual, just quick 42 damage.
Yeah, very
Jeez.
precisely just slicing off limbs
mhm.
and other random objects hanging out of this thing.
One of the
You
arms.
just charge at this creature and just start swinging your sword faster than Emmy's eyes can keep up with, and just limbs start flying in all directions. And at one point, you cut deep into the creature, and it shudders and writhes a little bit back from you, and sort of moans in horrible pain.
And then he's just gonna sit there and basically just like take a defensive stance without actually doing that, and then that'll be his turn.
All right, that is going to bring us to Gregthos.
Oh, thank God! I thought the creature was going next. Okay. Well, after I'm done shitting my pants, I guess I will throw a guiding bolt out at it. Fuck my life and these dice. I believe that's a 10.
10 is
Yes.
not going to hit, unfortunately. You were aiming just for the right spot to be able to help because you know that if you hit with this spell, it will allow your allies to have a better chance. So you're trying to shoot just where Suse is attacking, but just as he does, it shrinks back away from it, so it sort of accidentally dodges your attack.
Accidentally. Nice. I guess I'm gonna take a couple steps back and kind of duck around the corner here so that I can kind of break line of sight with it.
Right.
And then kind of just cry to myself that I haven't been able to do anything these past couple of rounds. That's it.
Gregthos just thinks about how much he hates dice for some reason, just unrelated to anything that's happening.
So weird.
Horrible at Monopoly.
But now, this creature is going to go. And Suse, this thing smells so bad. It smells like unwashed bodies mashed up all against each other. Because that is exactly what it is.
Yeah, I'm kind of used to that.
It is going to try to attack you with its many, many limbs.
Okay.
So, first attack is going to be an 18 to hit.
That will hit.
All right. So that is going to, I'm not going to bother, I'm just going to roll it, use the average damage on this thing. That is going to be 13 damage to you, Suse.
Okay.
In the process, it like sort of rolls all around you. And just as it rolls around, more of the limbs are reaching out and trying to grab you and smash onto you. It's going to make a second attack. That is a natural 20.
Yeah.
He gets one
I like
attack
it.
per limb, by the way, so have fun.
Not quite. This thing is going to do. I'm just gonna do 26 damage
Oof.
as it tries to roll around and grab you. And because it hit you with both of them, it is able to do this second thing that it can do. As the thing rolls around and is grabbing out at you with all of these limbs, they actually are able to pull you inside of it, and you are just pulled inside this creature, sort of wrapped up in sweaty, moistened skin, and you are being battered from all sides by just feels like being inside the worst mosh pit.
Stop being grabbed by things and eaten by them.
Really?
Well, he's the only one who wants to run straight at the stuff, so unfortunately that is going to happen.
Yep.
You just got Katamari.
Everything seems to like to just eat me.
Mm-hmm.
Really?
I mean, have you seen the picture?
Yeah. I mean,
I really hope that's not what it looks like.
So, the target, you are blinded, restrained, and unable to breathe.
cool. I'm used to that now.
Deja vu.
Yes.
Except sweatier.
Oh, yes. This is less of acid being like swimming through thick jello and more like being crushed on all sides by just too many bodies.
Yeah, it's like gym class.
Yes. It's the worst gym class. And that is going to be the end of the creature's turn. That is going to bring us back to Emmy.
Oh boy.
This thing has just rolled over Suse. And just like, Suse is just inside it. You can see like the bottoms of his boots sticking out.
Oh boy. I mean, I can't really do much to help him out unless I actually go over there and grab him, which I guess I could do. I guess I'm gonna try to get him out. I'm not like super strong, so I don't know how well this will go. But I'm gonna walk towards it. And can I see Suse at all, or?
That's a good question. I am going to take a look at this here rule, and it doesn't have any specific rules about pulling another creature out of it. So here's what I'm gonna do. You can do the help action, and it will give Suse advantage on his attempt to get out of this thing.
Okay. I was hoping like I could if I grabbed him, I could use my action to, or I guess that would be my action, would be the help action. Never mind. So yeah, I'll just do that.
You know what? Or if you think you have a better chance of succeeding in pulling him out, you could also. I will let you try to pull him out. That would be probably an athletics check.
I don't think I will, so I will use the help action, and I will just hope that I can get him out, that he can get out with my help.
You can see a boot sticking out of the creature, and you grab onto it. A boot that looks familiar, and start just pulling and trying to pull Suse out of this thing.
Okay, and as a bonus action, I guess I will cast Spiritual Weapon.
All right.
Right next to it, and smack it with Spiritual Weapon. Let's see how. So my staff with the cackling skull comes out, and that's gonna be a 20, not natural.
Yep, that will definitely hit.
Excuse me, it's dirty 20.
Dirty 20, sorry.
Just the filthiest 20.
Ooh, and I got max damage, so that's 10 damage.
All right.
And that's going to be the end of my turn. And
All right, the staff crashes down on the creature from above, and you can hear, like, you're not really sure where there are bones in this thing because it is just a pile of bodies with just limbs pointing it out in all directions.
They're probably my bone.
But you do hear, like, what sounds like a sickening crunch at one point when it smashes into the thing. That is going to bring us back to Rissa.
Would I know if casting a spell like Shatter would hurt Suse inside of him?
You don't know that.
Do it.
For the shot, I'm like point at him and go, "You need to spit out my friend, please," and use my unsettling words ability to subtract 3 whole points from his con save, and I need a con save of DC 15.
All right, so this thing got
And I'm using this at 3rd level.
That is an 11, so that's not going to do it.
Fantastic.
Suse, I would like you to also make a Constitution saving throw.
Yep.
God damn it.
Do I get the subtraction too from
Nope.
that?
No.
Okay.
you probably didn't hear it.
I got a 19.
You pass.
Takes half damage.
Yes.
It takes 18 thunder damage. Suse takes 9.
Yeah, Suse is unconscious.
Oops.
I didn't realize it had done that much damage. Didn't you have max health before?
Yeah, and then
no,
you
you didn't.
crit.
I was at 40 because I took 9 from falling.
Oh, yes.
And then, yeah, you crit.
All right, then. That is going to bring us to Suse. It is your turn, but
Yep.
you are unconscious, so I'm going to have you roll a death saving throw.
That is a natural 1.
Oh god.
Oof, that is
Oh.
2 failures.
No.
Oh,
I
dear.
didn't mean to knock you out.
Oh. Emmy, you're pulling on the leg as it's like struggling, and you hear the deafening sound of the shatter, and the foot that you've been pulling on goes limp in your hand. It's no longer helping you get out. Like you were starting to make some headway and pulling him out, but then he just goes limp.
Jeez. Oh,
So
God.
you can suss out. Oh no, he's gone unconscious in there. This is a bad situation. But that is going to bring us to Gregthos.
Jesus. Another guiding bolt. I guess. I don't know that he's unconscious, so guiding bolt at the thing again.
right?
Let's see if I can hit something for the first time tonight. Hiya! Hey! 22.
22. All right.
I assume that
That will,
hits.
that will definitely hit, yes.
Okay, good.
Sorry.
You're good. 4d6 radiant damage.
All right.
Oh, well, I'll pick that up in a second. Hey, that's better. That is 18 radiant damage.
18 radiant damage.
And the next attack against it has advantage.
All right.
And then I will just duck my happy ass back around that corner and just kind of hope for the best.
All right. Feeling distinctly unlike your happy ass, you duck back behind. And that is going to bring us to the creature's turn. It is attempting to absorb Suse and make him a part of it. But it also wants more. It always wants more. So it is going to reach out, and while you're trying to pull Suse out, some of the limbs closest to you are going to try to pull you in, Emmy.
No.
That is going to be a 23 to hit.
Yeah, that hits.
Oh, God.
This one is rolling high.
Ew, am I gonna have a friend?
Maybe.
You won't know you're unconscious.
You're going to take 13 bludgeoning damage. And you can feel like more of these little arms and legs trying to pull you inside. It's going to roll another attack, but this one is a natural 1, and that ends up being a
Thank God.
some number. A 7. So that is unfortunately not going to hit.
Yes, unfortunately.
So yes, it is trying to just pull you in, and some of the little tiny, the hands and limbs are all different sizes, and then there's one like little baby hands is trying to like just grab onto your face and pull you in, but it isn't pulling you in any more than the other limbs. And also, the creature is now just gonna keep rolling around you, Emmy. And now, unfortunately, you are separated. Like Rissa cannot see you, and Suse is pulled along with it, of course, because he is inside. Okay, that is going to bring us to Emmy.
Okay, so am I still like you said he walked away from me, or am I still holding on to Suse's foot?
Yes, if you would like to continue holding onto Suse's foot and pull him out, you can do that.
I'm not gonna pull him out, but I'm going to cast as a bonus action. I'm gonna cast Spare the Dying, so that
Okay.
he can't die from one more failed death save. So
Okay.
and then do you allow 2 spells as long as it's a bonus action?
Well, the rule is if you cast a spell as Spare the Dying is a cantrip, correct?
Yes.
So if you cast a leveled spell as a bonus action, you cannot. Then your action spell must be a cantrip. But because this one was a cantrip, you can cast the leveled spell as your
Okay.
action. That
So-
explanation sounds insane and makes no sense, but it's easier to think about it this way. If you cast a leveled spell as a bonus action, then your action spell has to be a cantrip.
Okay.
That's not how you did it, so you're good.
Okay, so I cast that, and then I cast Cure Wounds at 3rd level. And since I am a Grave Cleric, I have this ability called the Circle of Morality, which means I restore maximum HP with healing spells to a creature with 0 hit points. So Spare the Dying puts him at 0, so it's technically, he's at 0. So you get back 26 health points.
Nice.
Damn. That's a lot.
Yeah.
That's enough to
The
survive attack as long as it doesn't crit.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I guess I'm trying to think if I should try to back away. It's gonna get an attack of opportunity on me if I try to back away, but yeah, I think I'm gonna risk it. So I'm gonna start heading over to where Gregthos is. So over here.
All right. And in the process of you trying to escape, it is going to weakly reach out at you, but none of the limbs can catch any purchase. One of the arms manages to tear a small piece out of the bottom of your cloak, but you manage to escape unharmed.
Oh, Jesus, good. All right, that's the end of my turn.
All right. So, Rissa,
Yes.
what's your plan? Emmy has just
Shatter
backed
again.
away from this horrid creature, and Suse is still inside.
Do I see Suse's foot still?
Go ahead and make a perception check.
No, because you blew it off.
And blow it off. You're fine. 9.
Unfortunately, no, you can't make out any of his limbs and the massive limbs that this creature is. So you can't quite make out where Suse is in this creature. You know he's still in there.
Okay. I will say no, spit him out. Spit him out. And cast Vicious Mockery on him.
Okay.
He needs to make a wisdom save.
Wisdom save. That is going to be a 10. So that's not going to do it.
Nope.
Disadvantage on his next attack, correct? Or is that something else?
Yes. And he also takes a whole 4 damage.
Right.
4 psychic damage and disadvantage on next attack roll.
Nice.
As you weave magic into your mockery, the creature stops moving for just a second and just shudders. And Suse, you can just feel all around you, just like the thing stops for a second and stops moving, and then shakes you around a little bit, and then just keeps trying to absorb you into itself.
Gross.
And then as a bonus action, I'm going to, you can do it! And give Bardic Inspiration to Suse.
All right.
First time ever. Giving it to somebody else.
Oh, actually, I think he can't hear you.
Oh yeah,
No,
he can't.
I think he
he's
just
deaf.
has deafened.
Hold on. It's blinded, restrained, and unable to breathe. It didn't say deafened, so yeah, actually
Oh.
you do hear that.
Okay.
Fantastic.
One of the hands is covering your eyes and your mouth. That's what it is.
Lovely.
Somehow that call out to you gives you just the boost you need to try once more to pull yourself out of here. Speaking of which, it is now your turn.
You get an extra D8 if you need it.
Okay, so am I still holding onto my sword?
Yes.
Okay. Being stuck inside this, if I decide to attack, would I still be at disadvantage considering, I mean, it's like all inside me, or I'm inside of it?
Yes. It is. You will have disadvantage because it's just a matter of actually getting your arm to be
Okay.
able to like move and get the sword to stab.
Though
So-
technically, the next
Hitting
attack
it.
against this creature does have advantage. from
That's
my
true. So that would cancel it out. So somehow,
And then I want to use Fighting Spirit to give myself advantage,
wow. Okay.
It's a lot of things.
Sure.
which will also give me some temporary hit points that are much needed. And I'm just going to start flailing my sword around, basically trying to break free of this thing.
Right.
I'm not going to try and break out. I just want to kill it.
Okay then. Roll for stabbing.
Yes, that is a 18
That will definitely do it.
for 15 damage.
15 damage. Okay.
Second attack is 21.
Yep, that'll definitely do it. You start just like whipping your sword around inside the creature as much as you can, and you can just feel it like cutting into the various fleshy folds
Yeah,
inside
for
this thing.
12 more damage.
12 more damage. The creature now is stumbling back and forth and wailing as blood shoots out of the crease where it's holding Suse. Gregthos, you have a front row seat to just limbs and blood just spewing out of this wedge in the creature's body.
I saw no warning about a splash zone.
And that will be Suse's turn as he enjoys the free ride.
All right. That is going to mean that Gregthos, you are next.
I hope you have a high constitution, Suse, because you can't breathe.
Do.
Oh, that's valid.
It's like a minute per
Modifier.
plus in your modifier.
Yeah,
And it's only been like 18 seconds.
that's true.
It feels like forever.
Yeah.
Oh, it certainly feels like you've been here for way too long.
Especially considering I died temporarily.
It's almost a blessing that you can't breathe, because the smell would be horrid.
Yes. It'll probably get in my mouth too.
Oh, it's in your mouth.
Yeah.
It's
Ugh.
all up in there.
No,
I mean,
thank you.
really, the only thing I can do without getting super close to it is another guiding bolt. So here we go.
You could even step back if you wanted to.
I could. 15.
15. Let me check again. I forgot the AC. Yep, that is just enough to hit.
Yay! Victory! That is 16 radiant damage.
All right, 16 more damage. You blast a beam of radiant energy at this creature, being careful not to shoot where you know Suse is because you can see where the blood is shooting out. And the creature stumbles backwards and in the process lets Suse go, and Suse, you actually go flying out a couple of feet, but you do manage to catch yourself without taking any serious damage. But the creature rolls backwards and sort of like weakly flails a bunch of its limbs out a few more times before it stops moving, and it starts to deflate.
Oh, gross.
Yes. Lovely.
Probably lets out gas as it's deflating.
Oh, absolutely.
Oh,
And
Rissa
fluids.
just covers her mouth like, oh, gross.
I tasted it.
ugh.
You tasted it. How was it?
Yes,
Not
you
good.
came very close to being this creature.
Hooray, we survived.
Oh, God.
Some fucking hell.
Well, Gregthos for the kill steal again.
I think this is a good sign. Get out.
Yeah. Everybody good? Are we good to move? Anybody need any quick heals?
I mean, I could do a prayer of healing again if you want me to, but we'd have to find somewhere safe.
So that's 10 minutes. We can.
I'll be okay. I just need a bath.
Oh, wait, here. Wand of Prestidigitation. Poof.
There you go.
Everybody's
Hey,
clean.
came in handy.
And
Handed.
That is amazing. Suse is probably the cleanest he's been in a decade.
Oh no.
You smell like flowers, too.
I don't even remember what flowers smell like.
Well, you're welcome.
Well, that has definitely, the noise of that battle definitely caught the attention of various creatures. You see from the building that giant creature emerged, like a pair of just glowing orange eyes just looking at you curiously. It looks like almost like an eye is watching you from the darkness. But after the creature deflates and stops wiggling around, it sort of seems to lose interest and goes back into the darkness. A couple of the wretches watch you with a sort of vacant disinterest, and a bird lands nearby and starts pecking at the dead creature.
Well, I'm gonna quickly go over there, grab a vial of its blood, and then book it out of there.
The bird's head opens up sideways as it starts to
Oh,
bite into the
God.
creature.
Don't mind me, bird. Doop. Run.
Get a sample of that.
I mean, I'd like to, but yeah. That disturbed him a little bit.
I'm gonna break into a Sarah and Tegan song. Everything is fucked up.
Yes.
You take just a moment to catch your breath quickly, and then you continue your journey back towards the city. It's tantalizingly close now. It's probably only maybe an hour until you're back. But you continue to pass through the ruins of the city, and as you make your way forward, you hear footsteps. And you hear footsteps pretty commonly. There's lots of creatures and ghouls and all sorts of horrid things out here, but these are heavier than most of the other ones. And as you make your way back, you're back on the main road where you first fought those shadow beasts that when you first came out here. And you see emerging from one of the alleyways is a large, hulking creature, humanoid in shape, but covered in carapaces that it's difficult to tell where its armor begins and where its flesh is, because the armor is the same color as its skin? Is it skin? It's difficult to tell, but the armor is also lined with teeth, as though it's either perhaps trophies from its victims or perhaps a part of its own body. But in its hands, it holds a massive hammer, a war hammer. And it steps out into the main road directly in front of you. And to your surprise, it calls out in a voice that you can understand. It says, "Oh, well, look what we've got here. We've got a couple of live ones. Vastakan, come down here." And a different creature. This creature alights from one of the rooftops nearby. Its head, it is vaguely humanoid. It looks like a rather small, lanky humanoid, but it's, instead of a head, it has another human body, much smaller, holding a bow and arrow.
Whoa.
You can see sticking out of one of its shoulders are a bunch of arrows, as though it's using its own body as just a quiver to hold them. It leaps from one building to another with a grace that you don't expect from something that looks so hodgepodge in its construction of its body. And it replies back to that creature that spoke to it, saying, "Ah, Malgus, yes, this is one more for the the mound, but the flesh. Let us take them. And then the creature standing on the ground lifts up its warhammer and brandishes it and says, "All right, let's make this quick then." And that's where we're going to stop for the night.
Oh, Jesus.
One fight right into another.
Hey, it's a
Oh, my
centaur,
God.
but with another human.
That thing
Oh
is
my-
fucking crazy.
Oh yeah,
What was his name again? Did he call it?
he called it Vastican.
Vastican and
Vastican.
Mm-hmm.
Alright.
Jesus Christ.
I got this from Matt Colville's book,
Oh, nice.
Strongholds and
Survived.
Followers. Has the most horrifying creatures in it, and I love it so much.
Thanks, Matt. Thank you so much for checking out Behold Clearlight, our Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition actual play game. This world is brought to you by Ryan and played by a group of friends who are just looking to have fun and share our love for the tabletop world. Every other Thursday, we will release a new episode of Behold Clearlight. On the off weeks, Greg and I join other members of the TTRPG community and play non-D&D games. You can also check out Greg and I having random discussions on topics in the TTRPG and D&D world with guests on Mondays. If you enjoyed this, please don't hesitate to reach out on Twitter or on Facebook at Beholder to No One. Also, give us a review on iTunes or follow us on Podbean, Spotify, or wherever you listen to your podcasts. Keep being awesome. We'll see you next time. Bye.